Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Friday, December 6th, 2024. Let me start with the big picture, and you can see this chart. We settled 3 weeks ago above, and that was for the first time. The previous week we pushed through it, closed back just below it, but we settled 3 weeks ago above the 338.46 2-year channel top. And after having done so, we have not settled back below it on a weekly basis. We did once on a daily basis, as you recall. I think it was about a week ago, and then it was sort of just a grand head fake to the downside. The market gapped higher, and we've been really kind of stable to bullish ever since. So we are bullish above 338.46, near, mid, and long term. Near to midterm, 414.49 anticipated. When I say near to midterm, that depends on whether it's over the next 2 to 3 weeks or the next 2 to 3 months. I'll get to that in a moment. And then long term, 501 even. Long for me is 2 to 3 months and beyond. 501 even, I'd say a 3 to 5 month objective, especially if we get up and over 414.49 between now and say the end of January, which is a real possibility. So bullish above 338.46. If you're a long-term Tesla trader, no good reason to be short right now, not even on a buy right, being short out of the money calls. I think you're just long the stock, and you're hanging in there for 414.49 near to midterm, 501 even, a longer term as we continue into the middle of next year or sooner. So let's continue with kind of the day itself. I still have the 381.07 channel top. That is a level for day traders, may contain daily buying pressures, and once we test 381.07, we could slip back to the 338.46 channel top. And that on the chart, 338, that's actually pretty much where this trend line is, if I'm guessing right. I don't have that actually in front of me. I could take a look here. Yeah, it's a different chart altogether. I'm going to get to that one in a moment. So this is the day itself. I've already shown you 338.07, able to contain today's highs. We could fall back to the 338 area, that long-term support, by the end of next week. But, I don't see that as a likelihood. I think we could top out here for a day, possibly in early next week, ease back to 364.56, maybe even 357.45. And this is all within a day or two. So on an intraday basis, holding below 381.07, we'll keep 364.56 in reach. If we break or open today below 364.56, 357.45 is likely. 357.45 is a 1-week channel bottom, able to contain session weakness, as you can see over here, and in fact, once tested or above which, we should reach that 381.07 formation within a day or two. That is kind of the 1 to 2 day swing trade. Possibly selling 381.07, buying back at 357.45, and vice versa. You can buy a dip at 357.45, then anticipating within 1 to 2 days the 381.07 channel top. If we happen to push through 381.07 today, or perhaps open above 381.07, it is, after all, Employment Friday. We have the employment report for the month of November that gets released this morning. When I say this morning, I'm talking Friday morning, about an hour before the opening bell. And so there is the possibility that we actually gap up and over 381.07 on a bullish report. And so if that does occur, 397.72, actually not out of the question today. If we happen to push, especially open above 381.07, 397.72, that could be it for the day. But I will say that if we close above 381.07, that should yield our 414.49 level, possibly by the end of next week. Now, we could spend a day or two, perhaps, then in the 381.07 to 397.72 area. We could fall back to 381.07, that formation on Monday, and then rally back within a day or two to 397.72. But I would expect, with the settlement above 381.07, a possibility of a 3 to 5 day. When I say possibility, I mean like within 3 to 5 days it's possible. But I would expect, with a settlement today above 381.07, 414.49, and yes, by the end of next week, if we close today above 381.07. 414.49 is once again nothing more than the November 21 high, where we could double top through the balance of December, fall away from there. But I see nothing sacred about 414.49 is a significant long-term resistance area. It is an objective. I mentioned, is it 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months earlier in this video? And if we close today above 381.07, make that within about 1 week of trade. 414.49 able to contain weekly, potentially monthly buying pressures, and if settled above, should then yield 501 even within another 2 to 3 months. Our long-term objective above 338.46. Let's cover the downside a little bit better, that if we break 364.56, 357.45 is likely today, where a daily low can be made, and once tested, once again, we can round back up to the 381.07 formation within 1 to 2 days. If we happen to, I'm just going to go with a settlement below 357.45. Breaking 357.45, I'll say does allow 338.46 on an intraday basis. That would be quite a reversal. I think, though, the likelier outcome is if we were to test 338.46 over the next day or two, it would be a settlement today, Friday, below 357.45. That would then indicate 338.46 on Monday. 338.46 is a long-term channel top on the weekly chart, rises just a little bit next week, able to absorb selling, through the first quarter. And once again, above which 414.49, 2 to 3 months or sooner, possibly over the next week, as I've already said, and 501 even as a big picture target. Now, it's not going to happen today, but it is the end of the week, and if we were to close the end of next week below 338.46, that's a significant rejection of a long-term buy signal that should then yield within a matter of 2 to 3 to 5 weeks, this 284.69 long-term speed line. There are levels all the way down, though, that are well suited for trading, and below 338.46, you've got 323.05. That in itself can contain daily selling pressures, possibly weekly, but given the 338.46, we'll just have to see. We'll play this as it plays out. If it plays out, if we fall back into the 330s, 323.05, we're just going to have to weigh the significance of that depending on the time of the week. Is it early in the week? In other words, can we break 338.46, tag 323.05, then rebound to close the week comfortably above 338.46, or is it happen on a Friday? If it happens on a Friday and we close below 338.46, I'm going to go with that as a sell signal into the mid 280s and climbing. And yes, there will definitely be some heavy play at that 323.05 level, but I don't want to over nuance this because it's really sort of irrelevant at this juncture, and I think you would agree with me given our current price points. So, is there anything else to say? Yes, there is. I want to mention that on Thursday and on Wednesday this week, we put out 2 stock picks as usual, as always, Okta and Roku. Roku went out on Thursday. Okta went out on Wednesday. You want to check them both out. You can see them for free if you sign up for wickedstocks.com and take advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll see all of our recent stock picks. A handful of them are still very relevant and very tradable. And we're always looking for, at least 20% moves on these underlying picks, and usually more with some of the stocks that we're looking at. Yeah, they are very well suited for the 3 to 5 week out to the 3 to 5 month near-term trader, near-term investor, and I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla report, and you have a great weekend.